Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another daily cryptocurrency market update. I am your host, Allincrypto, and if you are new around here, every single day at 1 p.m. UK time, we produce and drop an update just like this one to help you guys stay up to date with the latest and greatest things happening within the crypto space, but also the broader markets, and that is exactly what we're going to be doing in this video, and it is going to be a jam-packed update. We have breaking news within the last hour that BlackRock have officially filed for an Ethereum ETF with the SEC. We are going to start the video off here as we have covered it on allincrypto.com, and we're going to be looking at the actual filing itself. So this is huge news. We've been following the whole BlackRock saga, of course, with Bitcoin. We've looked at the ramifications of what an ETF has done to a spot ETF has done to other assets and applied that to Bitcoin. And now you have Ethereum, the next domino to fall. And I do think eventually you'll end up with more altcoin ETFs, maybe something like Solana, which is a bit of an institutional favorite, but others will come. If you can get an Ethereum ETF approved by the SEC, there's no reason you can't get many of the others. This is a huge step for the entire crypto space. We followed the lineage of this from the registering of their iShares trust in Delaware to them making comments against the SEC saying, if you're going to allow Ethereum futures to be traded, an Ethereum leverage future, I think you can get a 3 or 4x leverage future on the CME actually, which has no representation or isn't backed by the underlying asset. Why is it, if you're allowing investors to speculate on that, why are you not allowing investors to speculate on a spot Ethereum ETF? So we're now at the point where they've actually filed for the Ethereum ETF with the SEC, and that's where we're going to be starting the video off. Then we're going to be going over to South Korea and looking at the third largest pension fund globally that has actually recently bought Coinbase stock. Guys, the world is moving towards, and these institutions have been positioning themselves in the crypto space for a lot longer than many of us think, and they are going to basically get the green light from regulators, and this space is going to go nuts. We're already looking technically at a bull market, I believe, and we've been positioning for that since really the start of this year, out for 2022. And you're getting a lot of confirmation technically, fundamentally, macroeconomically, and you're seeing a lot of big institutions looking to position accordingly. We're then going to be moving on to something that I found rather interesting that I think a lot of people missed, which was a JP Morgan on Nick's post where they talk about the future of wealth management, ultra efficient portfolios of traditional and alternative investment powered by tokenization. Every single thing. I've been getting in touch, and we've interviewed just yesterday someone who's tokenizing commodities. I've been getting in touch and speaking with a lot of people that are actually going out there now and tokenizing things. And a lot of them in the form of NFTs. And NFTs, we think about these sort of drawings and stuff like this. Well, actually, they're far more than that. You know, everything is going to be digitalized, tokenized. There are going to be infringements on an individual sort of privacy that comes as a result of this. But there's also going to be a massive technological advancement. Generally, this is what blockchain, distributed ledgers at their heart are, is a technology that's changing the world. And then we'll go over and we'll look at what's happening in Turkey right now. And is Bitcoin the answer? And then we'll get into some sort of more macro-y, crypto-y charts and stuff like that. But let's start the video off, as promised, with BlackRock's filing for the first US Ethereum ETF with the SEC. You guys want to stay up to date on all the latest and greatest news happening within the crypto space, do come and check our website out, allincrypto.com. We are dedicated to bringing you the latest and greatest. Got a table of contents here. We've even got AI bots that will read it to you. So an introduction, the financial world is witnessing a pivotal shift as BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager, intensifies its foray into the cryptocurrency markets. Recently, BlackRock made headlines for filing for an Ethereum, a spot Ethereum exchange traded fund ETF with the SEC, Securities and Exchange Commission. This strategic move underlines BlackRock's commitment to expand its cryptocurrency investment portfolio beyond Bitcoin, marking a significant evolution in the investment strategy. We cover everything. We cover the rising tide of cryptocurrency ETFs more broadly, the future of cryptocurrency ETFs and market implications, conclusion, and everything in between. This is absolutely monumental. This is the official filing, ladies and gentlemen. United States Securities and Exchange Commission. This is a S1 form, and it is for a iShares Ethereum trust, sponsored by iShares Delaware Trust sponsor. And then, of course, you can see this is BlackRock themselves filing this. And they have actually appointed Coinbase as a custodian of the spot funds. And remember, Coinbase right now is at loggerheads with the SEC. This is absolutely huge, guys. Let's take a quick look at Ethereum's price, see if it's doing anything on the back end of this. Not particularly, but Ethereum again running into some key resistance. You have a bit of a pullback. You've already seen that. You know, what does it do now is going to be the question. It's our assessment, absolutely, that there's a bull market. The space has broken out in general. And this is something we've been tracking and largely very right on, having positioned at the start of the year, out in 2022 and back in. You want to find out more about what I'm buying and where, do consider becoming a Patreon. We did do a meeting last night. We do regular meetings and so on and so forth, and you get access to my portfolio. Talking about Coinbase, talking about all this. So this is huge. You are going to get other altcoin ETFs that will come down the pipeline. It's inevitable, guys. I wouldn't be surprised, again, like I say, if something like Solana ends up getting an ETF, given how the price has been, given the institutional favoritism of it. But sticking on the topic of Coinbase, now that we've covered this absolutely monumental news, South Korea's National Pension Service invests in Coinbase. This is absolutely huge. So, South Korea's NPS, a major player in global investments, the National Pension Service, South Korea's largest investment group, manages assets totaling approximately $800 billion, recognized as the third largest pensions fund globally. The NPS has traditionally invested in a diverse range of assets to ensure steady growth and security for its beneficiaries. With its investment in Coinbase, and you can see, I believe this was the official SEC filing for this. Yeah, and we also had located a Korean news outlet that actually also covered this. Expands its portfolio, including a wide range of virtual asset-related companies for this time. So this is huge. Third largest pension fund globally are investing in Coinbase. What does that tell you? We've been very bullish on Coinbase. We think Coinbase is one of the unicorn stocks of tomorrow. That's my honest opinion on it. And, you know, in these videos, we really try and capture the news daily, but also we try and stick with the theme that we've always had for this channel, and that is that the cryptocurrency space is fundamentally changing the world, and we're seeing institutions position accordingly at this point. So a lot going on. To move on now to something else that I found very interesting. This was a recent report from JP Morgan, and it's to do with their Onyx blockchain. And you can see the theme throughout is just how transformative the distributed ledger technology space actually is. I could do a full video on this, and maybe you guys would like me to do that. But lots going on. We've got the likes of BlackRock. We've got the likes of the third largest pension fund, JP Morgan. You know, this is daily news now, guys, and people are, retail, I believe, is still more positioned expecting one final low, and not understanding that actually the context of rate hikes are typically bullish for the markets, which sounds absurd. Don't take my word for it. Go and look at the historical correlation. They're bullish up until a point where they're not, i.e. the laggard effects have kicked in and you end up with a crash. Just quickly, before we get on to some more dollar-based stuff and more Bitcoin charting-based stuff, you can see what's going on in Turkey right now. Bitcoin very much, let's get up the Turkish lira, is the answer for many countries where their native currency is in trouble. You know, we've seen this. Look at the Argentina peso against Bitcoin. The question is does this domino of fiat failure spiral into the larger markets, and does Bitcoin become the answer? That's really what we're looking at. I actually think the next crash that comes about is going to be a debt-based one. So it's going to be a real liquidity crunch that's caused by debt that causes an absolute printathon, which thus devalues money itself. And in that equation, what happens, you're going to get pain initially, but do you see some sort of a March 2020 style response with the bailing out of everyone and the quantitative easing return in a never seen before style? We'll see. Debt markets are in real trouble. Just something I thought I'd mention. On to the crypto space more broadly. And you guys will know that we've been tracking the dollar now for a long time. We were looking at a potential turn in the dollar. And the significance of the dollar is, of course, what it means for the crypto markets, what it means for risk assets generally. Just to put a few on, just to reiterate this for anybody that's new to the channel. You don't get this kind of macro market stuff mixed in with the crypto space anywhere, guys, on YouTube. And we've been nailing it as a result of it. But we've had a very strong dollar, which of course has transpired in risk going down. We looked at, and this is historically the correlation, certainly has been since March 2020. We looked at the dollar's potential for it to roll based on this weekly candle here. And since then, it has indeed progressed. It broke out of a range with non-farm payroll. You then had the CPI print, which kind of confirms things. Remember, this dollar strength got going on the back end of inflation. We are, in our opinion, now off to the races for risk. And since we speculated on that, you can see what risk has broadly done. Stock market had a bit of a tumble. Stock market showing a lot of strength. There's strength across the board. This is a bullish environment for risk, guys. That's our assessment. And the dollar rolling is going to be a large part of that. Of course, this transpires to altcoins. Altcoins still just get thrown around with Bitcoin. You'd have seen that the other day or on the CPI day. We need to see this continue to roll. And we need to see what we're looking at now, which is a broader channel, which lines up with our bull thesis. If we think the market's going to do well, the other end of that is going to be likely the dollar not doing so well up until a crash, doing very well. And then we'll see where we go from there. But dollar having a bit of a strong day today, or opening up positive at least. Gold doing not so bad. Equity futures market is down. S&P is just doing exactly what we've got set out for it. We've been nailing the stock market largely. And yeah, of course, the cryptocurrency space, Bitcoin for me, this. I think you should treat this as pretty serious resistance. And I would expect more consolidation before you break through it. And actually, this could tie up with something else that we've been looking at, which is if Bitcoin comes down, altcoins are going to sell off harder. Our first head and shoulders target for others market cap, which is predominantly altcoins, which we happen to invest in. So we're not majority in Bitcoin and Ethereum. We're majority in altcoins because we think they can outperform. You want to find out about that, do become a Patreon. This has made its head and shoulder target, which is going to align with a broader head and shoulders. If you get a little bit of a pause for the crypto space, you can see altcoins come off more, and then it should set up for a full-blown alt season. So that's basically where we are. Your general market has broken out. Altcoins still having broke out, but there might need to be a bit of consolidation at this point before they really push on through. So that's all we've got for you guys. We are, as always, an eternal bull. We're not an eternal bull. We're bearish when we need to be. We're bullish when we need to be. Lots of really big news coming out for the crypto space. On that note, I'm going to love and leave you. If you've enjoyed this content, a like is appreciated, so is a comment, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next.